Hi, Eric Gibaud, Gibaud.com, and today I'm going to present you this filter. This is the 2-in-1 filter by the brand Haida, and you have a circular polarizer with a variable ND that is 3 to 7 stops. So we're going to have a look at it and give my opinion. So let's start. Well, some technical details. First, I'll show you the product, the small box. It comes really well packed in a noise protection box, plastic box. It's here, in there. Then you get an instruction manual in Chinese and English. It's logical to have instruction because this is polarizer and at the same time VND, so maybe some people don't know how to use it this way, okay? And one thing I really like, there is a small card that helps you calculate how much light is being cut when you use an ND filter. It's not just this card, they also have an app, and you can actually download it from the Google store and the Google Play and the App Store from Apple, okay? So really interesting. So let's carry on. So they use optical glass called K9. Okay, I don't know exactly what it means, but that's the name if in the case you wanted to search, okay? The frame is aluminum alloy, special quality, spatial quality. Okay, so it means you don't have any oxidation problem or this, okay? And well, it's supposed to have no X, no cross. You know that some filter, variable filter, when you close as much as you can, a cross appears, so we will see if it does or not, okay? No glare. Sometimes you have this really strange effect it's supposed not to have, so you're going to see if there is, okay, or not, okay? The size is 67, 77 and 82 millimeters. As I'm going to use a lens that is 62 millimeter, they sent me a step-up ring to adapt it from 62 to 67, okay? But that's the three sizes there are, okay? And many people ask, why do I need that kind of filter? Well, basically, when you want to cut light, you normally can play with several things like speed, like aperture, ISO, unless it's already in the minimum. Or you can put a piece of glass, neutral density, it means it doesn't change any color, and it will cut light. So in photography, it may be interesting, but in video is really important. Because there is one thing that is called motion blur, which is this cine look, okay, really smooth. And if you want to have this cinema look, you need to have a 180 degrees shutter. What does this mean? Well, you actually put the speed of your shutter twice the amount of frame you have per second. It means if I'm recording at 25 frames per second, my speed should be on 1/50th of a second. But if I lock the speed, then I cannot play with anything else than the aperture, okay? But maybe I don't want to play with the aperture because it will change the depth of field. So the only way is to place an ND filter that cuts light. So if I'm pointing at one area, I don't move the camera, I can have a fixed ND filter, that's fine. But normally in video you will probably pan like this, go this sideways or this, and light is changing. So if you have a fixed ND filter, you will always have the same correction. So you will start with the right exposure and end up with the wrong exposure, okay? So the only way is to have a variable ND filter that when you move it, it will cut more or less light. It means if I'm panning like this, at the same time I can actually cut more light, so I keep my exposure okay. Many people make the big mistake of thinking, well, then for my photography I buy a variable ND filter, with just one filter I do everything. Well, that's a mistake. Because actually variable ND filter are good, well, the good ones are good, but they're not normally as good as fixed ND filter. Honestly, very often people cannot see the difference, okay? But in video, if there's anything that is a bit wrong, not perfect, the story carries on. So you don't actually see there was a small vignetting in 1 second or things like this. When you're on photography, it stays. So you want the best quality always. So normally in photography you use fixed ND filter, and in video using variable ND filter is actually the proper way of controlling your exposure, sorry. So it's the normal way, because if you play with aperture, let's say you have a no click lens, you could, but the depth of field would change. So with the variable ND filter, you maintain the right exposure without affecting anything else. So now we're going to have a look at this. If you have not done it yet, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps me because more brands are willing to send me product to present. So it answers the question of many who would like to know more about such or such products. If I have it, I can present it. And also to show other brands like this one. So that's always interesting, I think, for the channel and for people who ask and want more information. And if you can, also switch on the small bell, because then you get a notification when I upload a new video. So let's carry on. So you see what I mean by the shutter 180 degrees rule, okay? I'm going to record right now. I'm on f8. It says to have the right exposure, I should be on 1/500th of a second instead of 1/50th. So you're gonna see the effect. Okay, let's record. Okay. And as you can see, my hand is like shaking. Okay, it's not as smooth as cine. Okay, you really see like something this way, like this. Well, right now I'm recording with my iPhone. I didn't place any ND filter. I was too lazy. Okay, so you see it's a bit like this. It's not like ooh, like this. Okay. The first thing you're going to do is to place the filter and then turn it fully. Okay. To see how the polarizer is getting reflection away. Okay. Normally you never get 100% out. It depends on the angle of the sun also. Okay. But in some situation, yes, you do get out. Okay, everything. And then once you've placed properly the polarizer as you like, then this is when you will move the VND part that changes from 3 to 7 stop. Okay. So first you place it, you turn it, and we see the result. Okay. So once it's placed, you just turn the full thing and observe here. So I'm going to record at the same time, and you check how much light is being cut, reflection. For some people it's really hard to see. They really don't manage to see it properly. Okay. So I give you a tip. When you cut reflection, obviously you also cut light. When you check your exposure right now here, you will see it will drop. Normally polarizer 1 stop, 2/3 of the stop. Okay. So when you get that -0.7, it means you have actually cut 2/3 of a stop just with the polarizer. It means you have less reflection. Okay, so sometimes it's hard to see, but checking this, it helps. Okay, so let's see how it works. Okay, I put maximum polarizing. Okay, I start recording, and let's say I'm doing panning. The sun is there. I turn around without touching the filter, and what is happening here? It's completely overexposed. Okay, so what should I do? Well, I come back here. Okay. I'm going to look through the viewfinder because I've got a lot of reflection on the screen. Okay, so at the same time as I turn here, okay, I'm going to turn, and when I see exposure start to go up, I move my my ND filter to cut lights as much as I can. Okay, to maintain the right exposure. Okay, and if I go the other way, same thing, I control my exposure using the variable ND filter. Okay, it's not easy to do it and explain at the same time, but when you're used to it, it works well. Okay, so as you can see, the big difference between with and without ND variable ND filter. In one case, it cuts, but when I go to a different exposure, then I cannot do anything. With the variable ND filter, at any time I can maintain the proper exposure. So we're going to do the cross test. I'm going to go from 3 to 7 stop, and we see if a cross appears or if it vignettes. I'm on 12mm, equivalent 24mm full frame. Okay, so let's record, and I go from 3 to 7 stop. It must go darker in a uniform way. Okay, 7 stop, 3 stops, 7 stop, 3 stops. Okay. So don't have to explain, you just look if it's fine for you. Okay. Okay, it was so dark to see that I've changed aperture right now, so I'm going to move between 5 and 7, which is normally where there are some problems, and you can check if you see any cross or strange vignetting or strange effect. Okay, I just move right now, so it gives you an idea. Okay. Well, analyzing a filter is really easy because, well, I can tell you about the quality. I think the build quality is really good. The way it works is fine. You don't get too mixed up with polarizer and VND, okay? That's fine, that works fine, okay? But regarding the look of the picture, the glass, well, I would say the picture, the end, the effect, all this, you can decide yourself. With the example I've shown, if you see that it vignettes or not, if you see that there is a cross effect or not, so you can decide if this quality is for you or not. Really, I prefer to have your own opinion. Put it in the description if you want, and you decide if this product is for you. In case you would be interested, I leave you a link in the description of where you can buy it, okay? So, but for me, the quality relation, quality price is fine. I think it's okay, okay? And the quality, build quality is nice, and the optical quality appeared to me to be okay, no problem, okay? So, thank you very much, Haida, for sending me the filter. Thank you very much to you for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So button down here is a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, Gibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Also leave you links of my gear on Amazon, links of everything I've reviewed by K&F Concept, Sandmark, and Westcott, and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. No obligation whatsoever. You can also do it under any of my videos, a small dollar sign with a small heart with a small dollar sign where you can thank me, okay? So please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye!